So today I think it's going to be a little bit of a break from my usual way of doing things, and of course there's going to be no historical anecdotes about naked men chasing pigs down the streets of Zone 1 London. But that being said, there is pig's head on the menu. So hello again viewers, and welcome back to the channel. So I've booked a table at my return visit to Fallow, and it's a Sunday, so alas it's going to be a Sunday roast experience. As I covered Fallow before some months ago, this time it's just going to be more focused purely on the food and eating experience. So in other words, this is about as close to a food review as it would ever get. So if you are new to the channel and you've been enjoying this content, then your support would be greatly appreciated. So please hit that like and that notification bell. And a big thanks again to all my subscribers and existing viewers out there for your continued support. Okay, as you can see, it's pretty wet out here. It's rather cold as well, so I'm keen to get inside, so I shall see you by the table. And so, follow me. Okay, so I'm a little bit early, but even with that said, it's still rather busy. There's a queue of people waiting to check in. Very handy umbrella rack there for today's weather. Very nice touch. Well, I've just parked up and 5 minutes after my 3 p.m. booking, but it's extremely busy today, so I could completely forgive them for that. It's extremely popular. The venue, as you can see, you even had couples walking in expecting to be able to find a table to only be politely turned down. Yeah, you have to book here, I'm afraid. It's just very much a very fuzzy, sought-after place to dine. Right, so I've just sat myself down in this it's really warm terrace. The heaters are extremely effective, so no need for any coats. There is blankets provided in case you want those as well, but I don't have one on my seats, but I'll see if I can grab one just to show you what they are. Okay, so I've got my menu. I have had a look on this menu a few times before and online as well. I've kind of shortcutted what I will be ordering to save some time. Got my linen, which is always a nice touch, linen serviettes there. And the wine list. Here we go.
How are you going today?
Hello, me again. Okay, I just actually had to ask for the menu back so I could do this first person scroll through the offerings. The waiter is very friendly, very informative about the menu items, and he's even told me he's actually starting his own little channel, which is so I wish him all of the best of luck with that. Yep, I'm just waffling, but here we go. This is the Sunday roast offerings. It's very simple selection. So you got the cow rump, cow fillets. So a dairy cow. So my deduction is it's a female beast that used to be reared for dairy, and then now has given itself up to feed us carnivores. So we should be very appreciative. Oh, thank you. And my Guinness has landed, and just looking at the cutlery, it's sufficiently clean and polished. No residual food or thumbprints from what I can see. So it's quite difficult with one hand. There you go. I'm ready to eat now. And oh yes, I'm going to sip my Guinness also. Let's give that a try. On behalf of Fallow, cheers, cheers. Part of the standard Fallow services, you get a choice of bottled, still or sparkling, which is a nice touch. And I believe the still water is not tap water, it's actually something filtered. So other restaurants, please take note. I've not seen this in my past visits at Fallow. It's a rather charming little spoon rack. There's a brace of spoons here. Okay. One of my first courses has landed, and it's one of their signature dishes. Is the corn ribs, but with kombu seasoning. So kombu seasoning is a Japanese derived Japanese seaweed, dry seaweed I'm not sure how they make the stuff, but you can definitely smell the pungency of the aromas. Another little sniff. Yeah, very warm and spicy notes to that. I'm not sure how to eat this. Should I just use a fork? I guess I should do. I imagine there's the seasonings to be all over my fingers, so let's give this a go. It's over, so I can get the fork through. Alright, wish me luck, folks. Of course, I've shown my complete and utter lack of experience, but the corn's still on its core, so I should have to just eat it with my fingers. There we go. The lovely sweetness of the sweet corn and the smoky saltiness of the seasoning goes extremely well. It's very savoury, and so let's dress up the corn with a little sprig of lime. There you go. Introduce some acidity into the mix. This corn dish certainly will keep your palate busy, that is for sure. Okay, so from corn ribs to beef ribs. So this is another signature starter or small dish on Fallow's menu. They're very generous portions there. This is just a starter, by the way. Yes, this is a Sunday roast video. I just wanted to sample a wider selection of goodies on the menu. Okay, so I'm going to get tucked into this one. I'm just wondering whether these spoons were supposed to be for the corn or for the ribs. But I've got my knife and fork, so I'm just going to do the things the old-fashioned way. So, here we go. Just hold it vertically and just like that. There we go. Or I'll just eat it that way. There's many ways to do it. So, it falls off the bone, as you can see. It's very tender. Get the first taste. Oh, it's delectable. So much flavour going on there. Very sweet as well. The natural sweetness of the beef come through. And that's not the sauce doing that. That sauce only complements it. There's no real polite way to eat ribs, especially if you're videoing yourself eating. So you're going to have to just bear with me. Just dipping into the sauce. Okay, and just try to get a little first-person action of the ribs. Just get my fork and ease into a bit of meat off the rib. Just try and break it down a bit. Just demonstrating how the quality of the meat itself. Yeah, so I'm going to continue eating these ribs with cutlery. There's just too much sauce, and I don't want to completely stain my linen napkin. It's just going to be completely like a baby's napkin, basically, once I'm done with it. So no, I'm just going to use cutlery provided to keep mess down to a minimal. There's a lot of meat in there. I'm surprised by the portion size. They call it a small plate, but the whole idea with Fallow is you order multiple little dishes and you just share with your dining partner or your friends, which is a very good way to eat. It's a very sociable way to enjoy a meal together, and I think more restaurants should do that. The overall vibe is, as you expect, smoky, sweet, just full-on barbecue vibes with this rib dish, coupled with very succulent, tender meat. And a fresh pair of cutlery has been plonked on the table, gently laid on the table. But also, as a bonus, they've even cleaned and wiped the table, which is a very nice touch. Normally, high-end restaurants do that sort of thing, but you could say Fallow is high-end. One of the staff has just laid down one of the aforementioned blankets, but not that I need it right now. It's still very warm in here. Those ceiling-mounted heaters are doing a very fine job at the moment. And I didn't get this on camera, but as I was up in the main restaurant floor to get a little bit of footage. I arrived and find my linen napkin neatly folded in a triangle, as all good restaurants would do if you were to leave your table. You know, you shouldn't over-intellectualize Sunday roasts, but there's something rather theatrical about the way how Fallow presents their own take on the Sunday roast. I mean, just look at that. So I have gone for the dairy cow, or ex-dairy cow fillet. There's much lighter cuts of beef compared to the rump. And I know another vlogger has already done the rump review, so I thought I'd just something different. And I don't really fancy the chicken breast. So, but yeah, look at it. It's just absolutely amazing. And you got swede and you roast potatoes. So, and of course you got definitely that is an in-house made Yorkshire pudding and some glazed carrots and horseradish puree. Oh, it's fairly tender. The gravy. There we go. Very rich in colour. Plenty of caramelisation going on here. Imagine lots of stock has gone into here. Very intense. Okay, Fallow, let's see how your fillet of beef fares up. The fillet separates from itself as it normally would. It's the only cut of beef that will do that. I don't know where to start. Maybe I should talk about the gravy. Very silky smooth, smoky as well. Got that lovely barbecue undertone. You normally don't get that with gravy, but it's in here. And the fillet, absolutely delicious, melts in the mouth. But pleasing amounts of texture and resistance. Let's try this with a little bit of the horseradish. Navigate my knife around the big Yorkshire pudding. There should be a decent amount of horseradish that is spread onto the conveniently mouth-sized piece of fillet here. Here we go. Delicious, got the slight peppery heat of the horseradish, but there's a lovely amount of lightness. Okay, let's try the roast potato. I'll pick on this piece here. Very golden, almost like a batter-like exterior to the potato. Have a little smell. Yeah, it's not beef dripping. It's just it smells to me like perhaps just rapeseed oil, but that's fine. It's quite neutral in aroma. Take a bite of this. There's an amazing crunch to the exterior of the potato, and the cliche term inside is fluffy. It is indeed. However, it is about as soft and forgiving as you'd ever want it. There's more to try. There's the Yorkshire pudding, there's swede, there's the cabbage, and the carrots as well. Let's try the carrots. Very buttery, very soft. Those who like al dente vegetables might you might find this a bit too soft, but it's just a delight to eat still. The sweet sort of carrots, very good. Let's try the swede. It might be off camera, so forgive me, but I'll bring it over. There you go. Yorkshire pudding next, should I? Maybe I should, yeah. Yorkshire pudding time, but before I get started, let's put a little bit of gravy in there. It's be criminal not to. I think I need 2 hands for this. Okay, I've freed up a piece of the Yorkshire pudding. It's significantly coated in the gravy, so this is going to be quite special. Yeah, I can safely say this Yorkshire pudding belongs here, belongs on this fantastic roast. And through the magic of editing, the cabbage has managed to separate itself on its own. There you go. Lovely char on there, gives a lovely extra bit of texture, dimension into the rather very humble vegetable. That's delicious. There's a lovely bit of butter in there. Sharpness, acidity to counteract the richness of the gravy and the beef. Perfect piece of vegetable to go along with your roast. You know what, I'm so glad I don't have to recite anecdotal history or talk about the background of this particular eatery. It's just everything's to a high standard. I tried not to have too high expectations in case of the generally, let's be fair, Fallow is very, very hyped. It just is. It's a central London location, very popular on social media. And I too have been critical of vloggers in the past who covered Fallow. I thought maybe they were just jumping on the bandwagon, but I could say yes, I was wrong. And I'm pretty much a hypocrite now because I'm kind of doing the very same thing. But the consistency of the food and the enthusiasm and the level of service has been that high, set to that high. So not that, literally that high, but energy levels, the enthusiasm, the passion for food, the theatre, it's all there. Yeah, have I waffled enough now? Can I just get on with finishing my meal and I'll just close the vlog off later? Should do this the old school way of a starter, maybe a fish course, like the cod's head, followed by the pig's head as your mains, and then pudding at the end. If I get enough subscribers and if there's something you want me to do as a challenge, I'll happily take that on. But we'll see how it goes in the future if I've got the support I need to do it. And a customary look at the desserts menu. I would fancy one, but I've eaten so much. That was a very generous amount of food. I felt bad leaving the odd potato and some of the Yorkshire pudding behind. It's so good. Yeah. I just don't have the room. I'm not actually cold. I just want to get my money's worth. So I didn't go for all the desserts, but I went for the next best thing. It is a rhubarb and custard spritz. So think of a rhubarb and custard, but in cocktail drinkable form. A little nose test first, though. Yeah, a little hint of rhubarb there. Not sure if I'm smelling the custard, but yeah, I think it's all in the taste. So, cheers. Certainly tastes the rhubarb in there. Custard, maybe a little bit of hint of it, but not immediate. Not the you of course don't get the textures of a real rhubarb and custard, that is. But I love the sweet and sour notes of rhubarb desserts. So this is a treat, I'd say. Yeah, it's about as close to a dessert I can get after all the food I've eaten. Okay, some further taste test, and is getting a little more sweet and a bit more of the rhubarb and custard vibe going on the more I drink it. Just noticed they kind of dusted the rim of the glass with, so I think it's some form of sugar, maybe a little bit of cinnamon or something in there to give it a little bit of warmth. It's, I suppose it's supposed to, I guess it's something to substitute for the crumble element. But it's all very good. I'm enjoying this. So, anyway, I'm going to wrap it up, finish off my drink, settle up, and I will close the vlog outside. So I'll see you in a little while. Cheers. So that was the Fallow Sunday roast experience, and I hope I did it justice. So the food and service, if I didn't harp on about it enough, is so refreshing, especially to a Londoner like me in a place that's so deeply in the midst of tourist-centric London. And I focused a little bit more on the food itself, and I'm a little bit annoyed with myself still for trying to eat corn ribs with a fork when the clue is in the name. Just goes to show I'm not a food reviewer and I should know my place. And just again to reflect on the ambience and the whole general vibe of Fallow, it's certainly very theatrical and there are plenty going on. You can sometimes hear the odd plate and wine glass being smashed. It's all going on, never a dull moment in Fallow. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed the video and this is the kind of thing you've enjoyed watching, and please give me a little bit of feedback in the comment section, engage and hit that like button. And for those who are new to the channel, your support will be greatly appreciated, so hit that notification bell to keep this channel alive and growing strong. And again, thanks again to all my existing viewers and subscribers who have supported me all along the way. Alright, so this about wraps it up. So I will look forward to seeing you again soon in the next video. It will be coming along soon. I can't promise it will be next week, but I'll do my best so it will arrive in a reasonable time. Alright, so until that time, I wish you all a happy rest of your Sunday and we'll catch up again soon.